Hey everybody, how are you? Or should I say, hey everybody. um, how are you? I am good. I am in a different, if you've been watching me, you've seen this location before. I just don't feel like going upstairs. Somebody's supposed to be here at some point to fix our heating, which is now not working. I know. Y'all, we can't get it. We can't. Our HVAC for us is apparently the thing that's just going to consistently be breaking. But we got a new furnace at the beginning of this year, so we have a warranty for 10 years. So we shouldn't have to pay for anything that they do to our unit. We think that, sorry, I feel like my hair looks really light at the ends today, which is weird. I'm getting my hair done today too. But yeah, so we're supposed to be seeing somebody out here. They were supposed to be here between 8 and 10. It is now 9:41. And I haven't heard anything. So I have no idea. So we're just going to do this video while I wait. Let's see. I have some WIPs to show you. Sorry, I know this is like a weird day for me to be uploading, but my horse had an unexpected farrier visit. She was supposed to have the farrier come out on Saturday, but the farrier couldn't come out, so she came out on Wednesday instead, and it was just too much for me to try to deal with that, get the donkeys trim done, get the horses trim done, and then come home. It was just too much for me, so I was like, I'll just do a video on another day. So here we are. It's Friday, and we're doing a video today. So yeah, I have some WIPs, and I have lots of haul. Like, the majority of the video is going to be haul. So if you're not here for haul, I'll do the WIPs first, and then I'll do the haul, and yeah. And I might need to stop at some point because the guy who's supposed to be here at some point may show up. So my nails are still done. I did make them matte. I redid them though, like this is a new set because they were getting too long. Like, they were growing out too much, so I redid them. I'm gonna have to redo them again when I come back from vacation next weekend, but we'll get into that later. Okay, so we'll do WIPs first. So the first WIP isn't in a bag because I'm currently working on it, and it's right here next to me, so I can do that. So it is the Ferret by Cottage Garden Samplings. I'm hoping that the light is gonna be okay. I did not bring my ring light in here because the light is like right here, so it should be bright enough, but this is kind of on a whim making this video. So just gonna have to deal with it. And then here, hold on. I did not cut to size this time, y'all, because that's what I don't usually do that. So here is where I am at the moment. So I have finished the flowers on this side. I have pollen to do and stuff, but we all know how I feel about the pollen. And then I've started in on the ferret down here at the tail. I did mess up in this flower up here, but you can't really tell. So we're just going to pretend like it doesn't matter. I just fudged it because I did not feel like taking stuff out. And again, it's just a flower. Like, it doesn't look like, you would never know. You know, I mean, I know, but if I showed it to my husband, he probably would never be able to find the issue, like without looking at this. So, you would not know. It's just a flower. It's not the main focal point. But yeah, this is 32 count linen by Grace Notes Fabrics in the color Jennifer. And I love this. I will do a comparison with another fabric when we get there. I got the fabric for the summer part of the series, and it is also green, but it is just a slightly different green. So we'll do a little comparison of the fabrics when I take that out. Okay. Next, in my bag of goodies. The next thing that I'm going to pull out is really fun. I say this every time, so if you know, you know. I did get to the point that I wanted to get to with Magic Book. This is a chart by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm gonna try to not make too much noise. Here's, you know, what it will look like. There is no artist on anywhere, like on the website or anything. So we'll just pretend like it doesn't have one. Sure, there is an artist, but I think it's just a stock photo that they took, like, they bought the licensing to or whatever. And I don't have to figure out which which way it goes, because it really doesn't matter, does it? Because it's just a blob of black, so it really doesn't matter. And here's what it looks like now. So here's the good news. After this row, I honestly can't remember if there's one more column of black and then there's some color, or if the color starts on the next column or diagonal. It's not very much color. It's like a little tiny slither of color, but it is not just black, so that's exciting. Currently it's just black. I think this is 15,000 stitches, almost 16,000 stitches of color. It's like 15,680 stitches of black. So if you're wondering what 15,000 stitches of black looks like, this, or 15 and a half, I should say. This is what it looks like. Yes. It's really exciting. Yeah. Just gonna hang that right there. So I got to the stopping point with this. This is 2 pages, technically, like 2 heaven and earth sized pages. And that's where we're at with that. I think I got some other things that I forgot to bring over here, but I'm not going to worry about them. You know, it's like a needle minder and a scissor fob, or I think it's a needle minder and a scissor fob, but I didn't bring them over here, so I'm not going to, I don't think I brought them over here, but I don't know even, they're over in a pile of stuff, so I'm not really sure I'm going to bring them over here. Sorry about the zipper. Okay. And then, oh, here's the comparison photo. Okay. And, or I don't think I said, it's not going to be that exciting, the comparison photo, because it's just a bigger blob of black. I know everybody's like, oh, it is exciting, you're getting, like, more stitching, but it just doesn't feel that exciting. Okay, this is going to go here. The next piece does not have a, like, cover photo, because it is a mystery sal, and I think that I have 2 things done since the last time you saw it. This is the Supernatural Sal by the Witchy Stitcher, and here is, oh, there's a little bit of light coming in. The one downside to having a window behind you is there's light that comes through. So this is where we are currently. So as you can see, maybe I should just shut that blind. Well, we'll deal with it later. As you can see, we've added down here a gnome and a vampire. So I mentioned that I went on a small retreat, what was it now, 2 weekends ago at this point, and one of my friends at the retreat, there was just 8 of us, I think it was just 8 of us, one of my friends at the retreat, she gnome bombed me, and it was amazing. It was the best thing I've ever experienced in my life. I got so many gnomes. It was insane. I have some of them down here. Some of them are in the attic because there's just not enough room for them. I've got some blow-up gnomes now. I'm not sure I'm going to use them, but I own them. I'm not a big, like, I don't like putting, like, the inflatable stuff in the front yard. I don't know, I just don't usually do it, so I'm not sure I will, but they're upstairs in the attic if I decide to. But it was the most amazing thing because that Friday, this guy came out and I was getting gnome bombed and I was like, the stars aligned. Like, fate took us in her hands. And he came out on that Friday while I was getting gnome bombed. I freaked out. Are you kidding? I was like, Sherry, did you do this? Did you like contact Witchy Stitcher and tell her this needed to come out on this day? Like, what the heck? It was amazing. So he came out, and I did do the French knots on him. I hated every second of it, but I did them. So there's that. And then the vampire came out last weekend, and she's amazing. Yeah. Can we just, like, doesn't everybody wish they had a body like that? Yeah, awesome. So cool. Yeah. I'm loving this. This fabric is Oh John. It is a 40 count linen by Graysmith's Fabrics. And here is a comparison photo. Yeah, I freaked out. I will, if I can, add some photos, like I'll add a photo of the gnomes at the end. And if I can remember how to do it, I may not remember how to do it, add the video of the stitched piece that I got, which is somewhere in this room. Did I hang it already? Honestly, don't remember. I will find that, because I do want to show that. Of all of the, like, stuff that I got, that's the, like, thing that I want to show. And I think it's in that tub over there, because I haven't figured out where I'm going to hang it yet. And then there's one more, and this is a finish. So I'll show you what it was supposed to look like, because mine doesn't look like this. So this is Cross Stitch Nation. It is by Heartstring Samplery. And it was not a round robin that wasn't really a round robin. Because we didn't actually send our pieces to anybody. We kept our pieces. Sorry, I feel like I have to, like, burp. But I don't want to do that out loud. So we kept our pieces, but we stitched each person, like, in the color that they wanted to be and which person they wanted to be. And then I changed the bottom. So I changed this part down here. I put all of our initials underneath of each of us. So, oh, and then obviously my husband doesn't look like this. Anyway, so like I said, I changed quite a bit. Well, we all changed quite a bit, but mine is done. Now, Sarah has not announced via video what her colors were, but she did send it to us in our chat because she was the last to go, and some of us were like, what are you gonna choose so we can, like, do it and finish it? And so she did tell us what her colors were, so you can just see when I pull it up. But here is what it looks like now. Here is the finished piece, and I love it so much. I'm so pleased with it. Yeah, so fun. So as you can see, we have Corinne here. We have Colleen here, and I did add her middle initial because they have the same initials. So to differentiate, she usually adds the E into her initials when she does stuff, like, and her mom has her initials on it. She'll put the E there to differentiate. So I did that for her too. And then my husband, he's got his Ravens jersey on. So Colleen helped me chart his jersey, because as you can see, it's quite a bit different to that. So yeah, so we charted she really did it. She charted his jersey. The pants didn't change much. I did change the color of the pants, and I realized they're very stripy, but I don't care, because I did them this way so that I could count. Yeah, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I know some people will be like, oh, but I don't care. I don't mind it. And then the shoes are different. He had, like, boots on, but my husband wears like these dark blue tennis shoes basically all the time. And then I added his little cap, his like baseball cap, because he always wears a baseball cap. Now his hair is kind of funny. He looks kind of like he has an afro in this, but I didn't really want to change the hair. That, like, the hair is basically the same as it is on here. It's just a different color, or maybe it's even the same color. I don't know. But because my husband's hair is blonde, so. And then he's holding a hoop, and he asked me, he was like, "Why am I holding a hoop?" I was like, "Because it's Cross Stitch Nation. It's not anything else Nation. Like, just join the cause." And then I added his initials down here. And then I'm next to him. Happy coincidence. And then my initials. And then Sarah. Sarah is here, and this is what her dress ended up looking like. Super pretty. Loved those colors. I ended up using Gloriana's for her and for her. And I might be able to find the Gloriana's that I used for Sarah, and I can pull those out. And then we have Crystal here. She's got some fabulous blue color. It's like a teal type color. And then we have Carla. I mostly centered these. Some of them couldn't be quite centered because they are a little bit like, her dress is not an even number necessarily, so I couldn't really center it. I think Sarah's is also not completely centered. I think Sarah's and Crystal's are the only two that are not centered. Basically everybody else's are. But that just ended up being how big their initials were compared to their dresses. Because they had the two smallest dresses, and their initials were large. Like Bill's, he's small, but his initials worked out fine to make them centered. Well, he's really centered in comparison to them because they stick out one stitch on each side, which is great, which is fine. I was worried about Colleen's initials because I added the E, and I was like, I don't know if it's going to fit. It actually fits perfectly. It's from one end of the dress to the other, and it's great. So this is done, and I'm super proud of it. I'm proud of all of the changes. Because as we know, I don't change very many things, and I'm proud of myself for making those changes and like feeling comfortable doing it. Okay, so for Sarah's dress, let's see if I can find the other color. There it is. Okay, so for Sarah's dress, I used for the main color, I used this Gloriana, which is called Blue Spruce. And it is kind of I would call this like a teal. It's more green than blue, which is what I consider like a teal type color. And then for the kind of other bit, I use this Gloriana that's called Cranberry Surprise, and I love it. It's like the same color as my, that's wild. It's like almost exactly the same color as my sweatshirt. So hopefully you can see that. I'll use my face to be. But yeah, super fun. And like I've said in every video, purple is kind of the running color throughout this whole piece. Each lady has some sort of purple, whether it be she's the purple or she has purple mixed in with the main color. And it worked out because my husband's wearing a purple Ravens jersey for Lamar Jackson. So, and I chose Lamar just because he's the current quarterback. So I don't really watch football. It's not my thing, but it's my husband's thing. So I was like, I gotta put him in a jersey, and I don't know which jersey he wants, so I'm just gonna do it Lamar because it's my piece and it doesn't matter. So here is a comparison photo, and it'll be the final time that you see this piece. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, ladies, for this awesome little stitch along that we've done. This little round robin, not round robin thing. Okay, that is all of my WIPs. I have no more WIPs. I found, I didn't really need to search because I knew kind of where it was. I found the thing that I was made, so I'll do that in a minute, but I also have 2 framed pieces that I forgot that I wanted to show. So let me just grab those. And y'all know that I was real excited to show these at some point, whenever I got them. So I'm going to show them now, as I try to find a good place. So the first one is my mushroom meadow. So here is what it looks like. There's going to be no place that has not got a glare. So I think that's as good as we're going to get. This is my mushroom meadow. Yes, the framing is amazing. The matting is amazing. Everything about this is amazing. So this piece I did show as my finish by Stitchy Princess on Etsy. And the framing was done by Hobby Lobby in Pennsylvania. Corinne and Colleen have had this finished and framed in their house since May. So we finally got it. Very excited about it. Okay. And the next one is my pride and joy. Again, the glare is going to be horrendous, but here we are. So here's what it looks like. So this is my cryptid cell. This frame is everything. Looks so good. Trying to find a good place with like less glare. It's kind of okay. So yes, this is also been in their house since May. And I love this. So this is the sister piece. Well, this is the original for the Supernatural cell. And this one I did on 36 count. The other one I'm doing on 40 count. So it's going to be a bit smaller. But I think I know where I'm going to hang them. Either they're going to be across from each other, or I'm going to have one at one end of the hallway and one on the other end of the hallway. I'm not sure exactly yet. I think I have to hang Mushroom Meadow first and then decide what I want to do with these two. But that one was also framed by Hobby Lobby in Pennsylvania. Okay. Whoa. Falling into my chair. Okay, the last thing is something that was stitched, but not by me, but for me. And, oh, finally, I just got the text message that my tech is on his way. Okay, anyway, yeah, so at the retreat that I went to, my dog is going to drink water. You can probably hear. At the retreat I went to, like I said, I got gnome bombed, and part of that gnome bombing was a stitched piece that Sherry made for me. So here it is. Isn't that just fabulous? She stitched this. The fabric is, well, the stitching fabric, the Ada, is Grace Notes Fabrics. It is a, I want to say 16 count, not sure, could be 18 count. It looks pretty big to be 18 count, so I'm almost sure it's 16 count. It is the colorway Sarah. I only know that because I know what their colors look like. And she found this pattern on Etsy, I believe. And she stitched it for me, and I don't know any of the other information. It's just fabric, more fabric, and a string, or a ribbon. And it's amazing. And then, even the back looks good. Like, she did a really good job with this. This is, I think she said, like, the first time she's ever done something like this. So, yeah, I think she killed it. It is amazing. I mean, look at it. It's amazing. So now I need to figure out where I'm putting it. Because I have all my fall stuff out now, so this really should be hung somewhere. Just don't know where. Okay. Haul, y'all. So let's see. Where do we want to start? Do we want to start with my fabrics? Because I got a lot of them. Okay, well, if you can see the pile behind me, there's the fabrics I need to show. So the first ones I have here are my Be Stitch Me Fabric of the Month for September. Can't believe we're still in September and I'm showing these. Usually it's like the next month by the time I'm showing these. But I'm in both the neutral and the color club. And so the neutral this month is called Sand Dollar, and it is a very nice neutral. It's a very nice, I would stitch, you could stitch a sampler on this. But of course I'm not going to, because I don't really stitch samplers. It is kind of like a grungy gray-green type thing. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's a cool color. It's just very neutral, which I don't mind. I know, like, I say that kind of like, oh, it's just a neutral. But, like, obviously, Hannah, it's the neutral club. It's going to be neutral. But I do like my neutrals for some things, you know? Sometimes a piece calls for a neutral. And then the color of the month is called Be Stitch Me. So it is her own personally named fabric. And it's pretty. It is a pretty color. Oh, yes. It's not doing it justice. Obviously, the screen is not going to, because when does it ever? It is more like turquoisey than it's showing up on the screen. Like, this whole part right here is like a bright turquoise blue, but you can't see that. But it does have some purple on the edges and throughout. It's got that turquoise blue. It is a very pretty color. So this one is awesome. They're both 32 count, as we know. And that's my favorite. And yeah, that's that. I also got my Fiberlicious fabric of the month. I get a 46 count linen. And this one is called Sunset Lantana. I don't know if that's how you say it. And here is what it looks like. This one's not really a surprise because they, you know, Gwen does show the fabrics on her Facebook page. And this is really pretty. Even on the 46 count, because I had complained at one point that the 46 count dye is weird, but like this is really pretty. It's really, really pretty. I'm probably not changing. I was going to change to 40 count, but I know 40 count is kind of hard to come by right now, so I don't want to do that to her, so I'm just going to stick with the 46 count, I think. I don't mind a 46 count. I think it's nice because you can get a lot of things onto a 46 count because it's so small. And let's see if I can get this little papery bit back on. I do like how she puts her, like, sends her fabrics because it's recyclable. Not to shame anybody for using any other type of method, but I am big on recycling, and I basically recycle anything that I possibly can recycle, and, you know, like plastic bags and things usually aren't recyclable. You can take them somewhere sometimes to be recycled, but not all plastic bags can be recycled. So, okay. Now we have this giant stack. So, these are some fabrics of the month, some things that I bought, and some, like, gifts. I'm trying to find the gift. There it is. So I'll do the gift first. So, when we were at the retreat, Corinne and Colleen brought us a little a gift for all of us. And I think this was, impetus was Sherry. I think Sherry actually, I think she paid for this. I'm not sure. Sherry kind of was the reason behind all of this. And, you know, she's the sweetest person. Oh my goodness. If you do not know Carla, Craft Addict K, and her sister, Sherry, they are literally, I mean, Sherry's the sweetest person probably I've ever met. I mean, she is so giving. She is just the most giving person like I've ever met in my whole life. And so she basically asked Corinne and Colleen, can you dye a special fabric for our retreat? And so I was like, and she was like, yeah, sure. So she did. And this is the fabric. It is a purple. It's not showing up accurate. Does it ever? No, of course not. It looks more blue purple on camera, but it's not. It's like a perfect purple. And it is called Sherry. It is not spelled the same way as Sherry spells her name, but Corinne and Colleen have a family member named Sherry, and this is how they spell her name. And as we know, their regular line are all like family members' names. And so Sherry was totally okay with that, obviously. So this is the color. And while we were there, obviously, they had some other pieces of fabric there. And they were like, go through them, let us know if you want any of them. And I was like, oh, I do. And so I got Sherry again. I got another piece of Sherry. This is a 40 count, yeah. This is a 40 count, so it is, and it's a linen, obviously. So it is definitely different. And this is a 28 count Jobelin, which was funny because I didn't even notice it was a Jobelin until we were talking later. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm not a big fan of Jobelin, like, da-da-da. She was like, oh no. I was like, what? I gave you Jobelin. It's like, it's fine, I'll use it. It's just not my favorite. I don't know why I don't like Jobelin that much. I like Lugana better, but it is what it is. I don't mind. I will still use it, but it's just a preference thing. But she ended up having a 40 count linen, which obviously we know linen is my preferred over anything else. So I picked this up as well. So it is so pretty. Just the linen models and saturates just better in my opinion, which it does. Sorry, I'm just checking to see if they're any closer to my house. They might be. They might just show up at some point and I have to skedaddle, but you know, is what it is. We'll finish this video when we finish this video. It's gonna be a long one. Okay, then I also got my fabric of the month, which I'm in both their neutral club and their color club, and I get my Lugana in my color, and I get my neutral in the linen. And I do that just because, and some people I think have asked, well, they've not necessarily asked, but I've explained it to some people, like, I get the color in the Lugana because usually Luganas and even weaves and things like that do not take colors as well. They don't saturate as well. And a lot of neutrals are very light for the most part. So if I want my Lugana to look like anything and not just look white, I'm going to do it in the color. And I'm going to let my linen be the neutral because usually, no matter if it's super light or not, it will show up on linen better. So that's why. So the color this month was called Accent. And it was funny because she had texted me, here's what it looks like. She had texted me like, hey, here's the name of the color this month. You want to try to guess what color it is? And I didn't respond with the color, but this was not the color that I had pictured in my mind. I love this color. It's hard to kind of see on here. It's very light on the Lugana. You'll see in a minute. It might not be the only one I have. It's very light on this Lugana, but it is like a light purple. Purple? Orange. I'm looking over here at the purples. It's a light orange. And yes, this is the 28 count Lugana, and it's really pretty. It's like a nice kind of like summery color. I would call this like a summery color. And then the neutral is called Cafe au Lait, and this is my linen. And this is looks much more kind of yellowy, brownish orangey kind of on the screen, but it is not. It's mostly brown. The modeling is awesome. This modeling is really good. Like, they did a really good job with the modeling. And we all know I love a really modeled fabric. So, this is awesome. It's really pretty. Again, so glad I get the neutrals in linen. Just, I know, like, I love to do fun stuff on Luganas and stuff, but I get enough 32 count linens in color that it was nice to have like a 28 count Lugana come in a color, you know, because sometimes I want to do colors on a Lugana. Okay, then I bought some more things. So I just mentioned that accent might show up again. Well, here I did buy another piece of accent, and here you can really see that it is much brighter on a linen. So this is, I believe, a 40 count. Yeah, this is a 40 count linen. Look at that. It looks so different in person. It is orange like that, but it is not orange like that. It is a more, I don't know, it's just different. It is really pretty. I did get a half. It is a fat half because that's what they had, and I didn't want them to cut it. So I bought it this way. So yeah, so it is very different than the Lugana, as you can see. Like it almost looks like, this almost looks white next to it, right? But it's not. It does have a color. It is not going to show anymore. Get out of here. There we go. See, it does have a color, but it's much, much lighter on a Lugana. And then I bought this, which is just a mystery fabric. It is also a Lugana. It's a 28 count Lugana, and I thought it was so pretty. It is not, it's barely mottled at all. Like, it's almost a full flat color, which is really cool. I don't like the lighting. The lighting in here is really not good. So it is a, like, kind of green, almost like a popsicle green. I don't know how to explain this green. It's like a meadow. I don't know. It's really pretty. But it's just a mystery fabric that I think they were practice dyeing for Sally, which is one of their new colors. And this was like a practice dye. Was not completely accurate. I also bought, while I was there, Mary. I bought her because, I bought this because I want to do the fall part of the Year in the Woods on this. So this is a 32 count. 32 count linen in Mary. It is a really nice brown. It'll work really, really nicely for the fall part of the Year in the Woods. And I bought two pieces because this is just a quarter, and we know I can't just get 3 pieces on 1 quarter. So I got 2 quarters so that it equals a half. And then the last thing I got, let me move all this really quickly. The last thing I got was, and I had ordered this prior to, and she just brought it with her, was Sarah, which looks almost the same as Jennifer, like when you're just looking at it. But let me bring Jennifer over. Now do you see the difference? Yeah. So Jennifer is much more like brown in color than Sarah is. If you can see how much of a difference that is. Like it's much different. Much different. It's very different. Sarah is much more green than Jennifer is. So they are different. And I know, like, just looking at it, you would go, oh, that looks the same. But when you bring them together, they don't look the same. So that's the cool part. I'm sorry if that was loud. That's the cool part about, you know, looking at these fabrics is they almost look identical when you don't have them together. And then when you put them together, it's like there's such a difference. So those are all my fabrics that I bought and / had sent here for all the things. Okay, so let me put these back over here. And I also bought a lot of floss. Y'all. Okay, so you remember I've down below I have links to a lot of the stores that I shop / Facebook groups of friends that have their shops on Facebook. So Cindy, Farmhouse Flossies and more, and such, and more. Farmhouse Flossies, that's just what I call it. Does it say it on here? No, of course not. Whatever, it's down below. I just call it Farmhouse Flossies. I know there's like a second part to it. It's like, and more, I think. But I mainly just buy the floss. And I did. I went crazy. So I'm not going to sit here and like, I don't know, tell you every color name necessarily, but I will pull out all of the like pieces. So some of them you've seen before because I just put the old ones in with the new ones. And these are all hanks that are bigger than 10 yards. So some of them are 50 yards, some of them are 20 yards, some of them are 46 yards or something. Yeah, so these are all of my like bigger than 10 yard skeins or hanks that I put into this. So here are some of them. So pretty. I'm just going to do it this way for all of them because it's going to be too much for me to try and pull out and like show you the names of every single floss, especially when we get to the 10 yard skeins because y'all, I went a little ham. I bought every single color that she has. And I bought a couple extras of a couple of them. Like this is, oh no, this is Cleanup Crew. I did buy, that's not it. I did buy oh, here it is, a hank of a color that I also bought all of the skeins of, which is Sea Glass, because that's my literal favorite. I love her Sea Glass. So there's a name for one of them, and then this is the last hank that I bought. So those are all the hanks, whether they be 50 yards, 20 yards. This is just anything that's more than 10 yard skeins. And then the 10 yard skeins. So I'll just pull these out and show you like quickly because I don't want to be here for forever. So there's a few. And as I mentioned, I bought this is Thin Mint, which I know I wasn't going to tell you any of them, but this is Thin Mint, which is it's like a lighter version of Sea Glass. And that's literally what she said. She was like, it's just a lighter version of Sea Glass. And I might have Sea Glass in here like a million times. So if you see it a million times, I'm just gonna, and I have a couple of them that I bought more than one. But it was just if I liked them. I bought like a bunch of them. Ah, see, here's Sea Glass. So pretty. It's my literal favorite. Oh, I think I have two of them here. And some of them have come unraveled because as I like stuck them in the bag, they just came unraveled, which is fine because they're still on here. There's more. This is going to be a long section, so if you're not interested in any of the flosses, but if you see one that you really like, I can try to figure out which one it is. Some of them don't have tags with names on them, like some of the names, there are no names on some of them, but I think most of them have names, and if they don't have names, I'm pretty sure I could just text Cindy a picture and be like, what do you think this one is? Or I can try to figure it out based on the pictures on Facebook. But yes, she sells her flosses on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, join that group. It's down below. And we're getting there, people. This one, here's a bunch of Sea Glass. See how much Sea Glass I got? This is all Sea Glass. Oh no, this is oh no, this is the lighter version. Okay, just kidding. The one I showed you earlier was not the lighter version. This is the lighter version of Sea Glass. It's Jadeite. I don't remember what the one I showed you earlier was. It's not the lighter version. But it looks similar. Oh, here it is. Thin Mint. Thin Mint looks similar, but it's actually much more green. So this is Thin Mint. This is jadeite. No, this is sea glass. This is jadeite. So they're all slightly different. On camera, these two look almost exactly the same, but they're not. They're very much different in person. And then this one, which I think is Cleanup Crew. No, it's Confetti. Confetti looks fairly similar to Cleanup Crew because it's got all the colors. Okay, let's keep going. Spend enough time on that handful. And there's some more. This one's really pretty. I think it's Iris. Yes, Iris is really pretty. I did use, I think the name of it is like Old Blue Jeans. On my husband's, oh, here they are. Here it is. This is the color I used, which of course I don't have the name of on here, but I think it's called like Faded Blue Jeans or Old Blue Jeans. And this is the color I used on my husband's pants because it was like the perfect jean color. In Cross Stitch Nation. Here's some more. And a couple of them look fairly similar, but they are different. Like this one's Old Basket, and this one I think is Peanut Butter Cup, yeah. But they are different, because one has that like gold running through it. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool! And then this one. And then we're getting there. We're almost, I think we're about halfway through. This is really cool. This Java Blue is really cool. And of course, you guys have seen this one already, my Frankenstein. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Again, like I've said, you have seen some of these already because I did buy some of these prior to going to this retreat. So I told you there's a billion of them. I bought and bought and bought, but I wanted all of the colors, you know. Okay, this one is mainly this one's mainly sea glass. It's got a couple other colors in there too, but this is really pretty. This one is actually the one that is being sold for Cancer Awareness Month this month in October. So you can get this. It's really pretty. It's a beautiful pink with lots of different variations running through. So buy that if you would like to support cancer research. Well, this is nice. Okay, so these two are kind of similar, but one is Rocket Pop, which is this one. This one is Happy Unicorn. And you can tell the difference. I mean, you can tell it on the camera, but you can tell the difference in person too. There's not as much blue in Happy Unicorn. And then there's just more sea glass. Okay, we're basically at the bottom of the bag now. Okay, we're back. And I just have to finish showing you all the threads. I'm almost done, like I said before. It's been, I don't know, a half hour? Something like that. But for you, it's been 0 time. So these are all, I think, like basically the same colors. This one's different and this one's different. But these 3 are the same and these 2 are the same. So, as you can see, I have specific colors that I got multitudes of. Like Java Blue, which you've seen already. But I think this is camo. Yeah. But I wanted at least one of everything. And I've actually just ordered this morning. Some more! That's such a pretty color. It's hard to tell on the screen, but it is a pretty color. This is a really cool color too. Shoreline. It's like blue and light pinky purple and tan. It's just a really cool color. Anyway, we're almost there, people. And then, did I get more of this? What is this? This one doesn't have a name. So yeah, sometimes they just don't have names. She didn't, I mean, she had a lot of threads there. Did I get another? Oh no, what is this? Oh man, they're so different. And then there's variations within the same color, like these two. These two are the same, they're both sea glass, but they're very different. It's hard to tell on the camera, but they are very, very different. But it's really cool. I think that's the cool thing to me, is like the variation on the same color that you can get. These are the last 5. Yeah, so that's all of them. That's everything. Now I gotta put them all back into this bag. I got to figure out a way. I'm gonna move you really quickly. I had to figure out a way to store all of these. He's finally leaving. Our service tech is finally leaving our driveway. He's just been sitting out there for the past probably like 10 minutes while I've been running around in here closing things and tidying up after he left. But those are all my flosses that I bought. And then this past Friday, so not today, but sorry, I'm moving you again. Seasick, I know. Not this past Friday, but the Friday before. So last Friday, Heather, Charm City Stitcher, and I, she lives about 20-25 minutes away from me. 30 with bad traffic, but there wasn't any, so it was really nice. We went together to Ocean City. And we went to Ocean City because we wanted to go to Salty Yarns, because neither of us had ever been to Salty Yarns. I don't have any photos, but I did buy a lot of things. So, get my little baggie out here. I did not buy any fabrics or floss, as you saw. I don't need any of that stuff, but I did buy patterns galore. So, as soon as I walked in, and I only know this because this was the first like pattern that I saw that I was like, oh, gotta have it. It is not my style at all. It is not my style in the least bit, but I needed it. And I've never heard of this designer before. And it's called All She Surveys. And this is the pattern. Can you guys tell why I wanted it? So, this reminds me of me when I was in, I mean, granted, I did not ride side saddle, and I didn't wear a dress when I was riding, but this reminds me of me when, you know, my horse was younger, and she was in work. So, I think that when I stitch this, because I do want to do it, I think it's really cute, and it just reminds me of me and my horse. When I do it, I'm going to change her. I'm probably going to keep the rest of it, because the rest of it's pretty, like, it could be anywhere, right? But I'm going to change this part, her and the horse, because my horse is bay, and this horse is not bay. This horse looks like it could be either Palomino. It's probably trying to portray a Palomino. Which, okay, I mean, sure. But I also don't ride side saddle, so I'm going to try to figure out how I can, like, adjust her. I probably can just make her be wearing a pant and change how much horse there is. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I might have to rechart that area, because I wouldn't be wearing a dress, and I wouldn't be riding side saddle. Now, have I ever ridden side saddle? Yes. Was I wearing a dress? No. But I did not ride my horse side saddle. My horse was a jumper, therefore we did not ride side saddle. So I will be changing that area, just to make it really me and my horse. And then the rest of it I just found sporadically as we were walking through. So this I really love. I don't know if there's more of them, but it is a Little House Needleworks, and I just got it because of the pumpkins. I love that sign with the pumpkins. I love the whole thing. I think it's really cute, but this part down here is the best part. So that is Sleepy Hollow Lodge. And then I got this, which these are exclusive to Salty Yarns. So I want to just try to cover up this top part because it's got the pattern on it. So I'll cover it up with that. So this is the pattern that I bought. It is the second one. So I think there's 6 of them. This is called Boardwalk 2. Now, I've already done Boardwalk 1. I did Boardwalk 1 for my my aunt-in-law. I stitched it for her and gave it to her because my mother-in-law used to go to Salty Yarns every so often, I think almost every year, and she would pick up patterns, and some of them are exclusive to Salty Yarns because I don't know if it's one of the owners, I think it's one of the owners, or the owner, that charts these patterns. And like I said, I already did number 1, so I got number 2, and I'm going to do it. And then I'll probably go back and get number 3 at some point, maybe every year. I'm not sure. Heather and I decided we might be able to do this every year. Who knows? But we'll go back and I'll get 3, 4, 5, 6, until I've gotten them all. And I've stitched them. And I will give them to my aunt-in-law or my mother-in-law. I'll give them to somebody else because they don't go in my home. My home is not beach-themed at all. There's nothing to do with the beach in my home. So I don't really like to hang things that have to do with the beach. Therefore, and then this one is called Winter Rose Manor, and this one's a Brenda Gervais pattern with Thy Needle and Thread. I think there's a sampler and a pin cushion in here, which I won't be doing the pin cushion. I'll just be doing the quote-unquote sampler. It's not really a sampler. I mean, in my opinion, it's not really a sampler. Got that giant house, which I think is really fun. I really liked it because of the white. I don't know. I have a thing with I guess the house is not really white. It's like pink. But I have a thing with like winter themed type houses and things. And it looks like you can tell it's supposed to be like wintry because the ground is white. I liked it. It's really, really pretty. And then this one, I was going to get off 1, 2, 3 Stitch at some point, but I found it, so I was like, why not? It's Annie B's folk art, and I love these. I'm a bee person. I love bees. I don't have any problems with them. I don't think they're scary. I mean, honeybees really aren't scary, but like any bees really aren't scary. So, yeah. And then this one by Hello from Liz Matthews. I got Autumn Cloche. And I have the butterfly cloche on my wish list. And I saw this and I was like, awesome. I love that. So, really cool. I really like this one. Really, really pretty. And then, of course, I saw a Jeanette Douglas. That stresses me out, but it is what it is. It's got a lot of specialty stitches, which I love specialty stitches. So, it is what it is. So this is called Vintage Stitches. I don't actually know what it's called. I think it's called Vintage Stitches. And they gave me the little floss pack, and like it's got the charm, and it's got all the stuff in here. So, I'm not sure if it has everything, because one of these looks like it is, it might be. It looks almost like it's rainbow down here, but it might be the one that I have in here. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm not sure if they gave me everything, but whatever. If they didn't give me everything, I will buy the rest of it at some point. I don't know when I'm going to start that. But and then we had to, because I have Winter Hill and Autumn Hill, and they had Summer Hill and they had Spring Hill by Rosewood Manor. And I want to do all of these. I love them so much. I'm already doing Autumn Hill next year, and then I'll probably start some of these whenever that one's finished. And then I'll do this one last. And then I found these. Now it was funny because I think that some people have been giving away some of these charts, but I don't necessarily like the monthly ones of these, but these seasonal ones, I love them. So I'm talking about the Carousel Horses by Teresa Wentzler. Yeah, this is the summer one. I don't know. I mean, summer one might be my favorite, honestly. It's just a gray horse with a whole bunch of backstitching. Jeanette Douglas's, I mean, Teresa Wentzler's are intimidating because of all the backstitch, but, you know, it is what it is. Jeanette Douglas's are also intimidating because they've got a lot of specialty stitches. So, and then this one is the fall one. Really pretty. I don't know, man. I think the summer one is my favorite, which is weird because usually fall stuff is my favorite and spring is usually my second. And then this one is winter. Really cute. I like that this one has the, I mean, I don't know what they would call it, but I'd call it a warm-up blanket. It's just a really fancy warm-up blanket. Or a half sheet. It's just real fancy. And I mean, honestly, if you wanted to make them look like more like real horses, you could just take that pole out. I might stitch everything but the pole first and see how I feel about it, because honestly, these could be like real horses instead of having the pole there and look like carousel horses. And here's the spring one. They're really pretty. Like, really pretty. I don't know. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, I might do that. I might do everything but the pole, see how I like them without the pole, and then decide if I'm going to add the pole in or not. And then the last thing that I bought because of Heather. She is the reason, like, all this stuff I saw and I wanted, and I wanted this one too, but then, like, I was like, oh, I would never stitch it for me, and then I was like, oh, I could stitch it as a gift. Now, I don't know when I'm going to stitch it as a gift, and I think I have fabric. I think I just got fabric I could use this on. But, and then I could use any of my farmhouse flossies for it. So, if you are my mother-in-law, Kathy, look away, because this is a gift for you, and I don't want you to see it before I've done it. So, it is this. I'm not going to even say what it is, because I don't want her to know. It is this. And there's two color variations. This one has none of that, like, internal thread running through, and this one is all filled, which I like this one best. So I'm going to do it this way. I might try to, I don't know how big it is. Let's see, it's 197 by 160, so it's a large. I was going to say, I might try to, like, do it for Christmas for her this year, but I don't have an open spot, and I won't get any larger finished, like, before I can start this. And I really want to try to, like, complete no new starts this year, because she can always get this at any point. Like, I can give this to her whenever. So I might just stitch it next year and give it to her for some occasion next year, whether it be Christmas or her birthday or something. But yeah, so those are the things that I bought at Salty Yarns. So a lot of things. But it was super fun. And I think we're going to do it again next year. We might make it a, like, yearly little fun outing. We might add more people. I mean, we had originally invited another person, Megan from Wide-Eyed Stitching Whale. I don't know. What is your Wide-Eyed Stitcher on YouTube? I know she's Wide-Eyed Stitching Child on Instagram. I'm almost positive. Because her email is something old. But it's got that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We had invited Megan, but she could not come, unfortunately. So, and then, I promise we're almost done. I'm going to try to make this less loud. Oh. At our Sunday stitch group, we had a swap, like a whatever pattern, a swap, just a swap in general. And I took some things. I didn't bring anything really for the swap because I don't have that much stuff that like I'm not gonna stitch. So maybe when I start finishing things, I'll have some stuff to swap, but at the moment I don't. So if you watch Megan's channel, you will have seen that she finished her Cathedral Woods Goddess, and she offered it up, and I was like, absolutely, she's on my list. I don't want to do a whole lot of Mira's, but she is one that stitched so much even better than just this picture. Like, she is gorgeous. I mean, I feel like a lot of Mira's are like that. They're just better in person. And when I saw it, I was like, absolutely. So originally I probably would have left it, but after she brought it and I saw it in real life, I was like, yeah, I need that. And then I also from her, I think this is from her, I think I got this out of her box, is Akori Batakori. I don't know if that's, I don't know how to say it actually, but I think that's how you say it. This Christmas sampler, which I'm not sure. I took it because I wasn't sure. And I'm still not sure because there's so many, there's the alphabet's there and I don't need to do the alphabet on like anything. So I don't know whether I'm going to do this, but I took it because I didn't want to just like, I didn't want it later, you know? So if we ever do a swap and I end up not doing this, I can just give it back to somebody else. And then she had this blue flower Halloween parade pattern. Yes. And just like, I love this. It's just all of the like animals dressed up. It's just amazing. It says strange things are seen on Halloween. I love this. With the like crow with his little bowler hat on. Oh, I love it. I mean, I think he's a crow. He kind of looks like a little vulture, but I don't know. It's the cutest. I love this. And then, because I have an issue with, not an issue, I just love Paul Yvonne's stuff here recently. I brought this, or I took this, Memories of Christmas. It's just another quilt, because I need more quilts. And then on the back here is like all the other, not all of them, but like a bunch of them from her collection of leaflets. And then I took a book, a Paul Yvonne book. It's not a Paul Yvonne book. I mean, it is. It's a Leisure Arts Paul Yvonne book. And it's just the Romance of Paul Yvonne. And it's got like a bunch of different stuff in here. So it's got these two. It's got these four. And I think that's it, yeah. So it's got 6 different patterns in here, which is cool. And then I passed these up originally, but I was talking to one of the ladies, and I was saying, oh, I love specialty stitches, and she was like, did you see these? And I was like, see what? And she pulled these out. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to do all of them, but they are all, like, specialty stitches stuff. I don't know what they're called, necessarily. Some of them have the flosses in them. I'm not sure I'll use them. I might use, like, my own flosses, because none of them are, like, specialty flosses. So they're all just, I think, mostly just DMC. And I might change the colors, because the colors don't all call to me. So, here's one. Again, not sure of the names of all of them. Don't bark. Thank you. That one. This one is funny. It says, for the experienced stitcher. I don't know if that's me, but I'm going to do it. Maybe. That's one that I do like. And this cube, that's kind of cool. Again, these are all like specialty stitches. So it's almost like tulips, which we all know I love tulips. And then this one's pretty. And they're pretty small. I mean, she wrote on, or somebody wrote on here, 4.5 by 4.5. So that's like really small for me. That's a tiny one. And then I took this Just Cross Stitch magazine from 1988. Guys, I wasn't even born yet. I took this one because it has these rocking horses, but I don't think I'm going to do them because it's got the people. I don't like the little kids on there. Don't really want the little kids on there. So I don't know. I haven't taken a peek through everything that's in here. So there might be something else that I want to do, but if there isn't, then I can just give it away at another exchange. I don't have any problems with that. I just didn't want to say no to something that I might end up wanting to do, you know? But I don't think this one's kind of cool. Oh yeah, see, here's the patterns with the little, this one's kind of cool. It's the Jefferson Memorial. That's pretty cool. I might do that. I don't know who I'd give it to, because I wouldn't necessarily hang it in my house, but. And then the last thing I got was more Teresa Wentzler horses. So these are just the rocking horses. That again, you could do as just regular horses. Although I kind of like these as rocking horses, so I might leave them as rocking horses. And they're not necessarily, I don't know if they're seasonal. I don't think so. I think that they're just, because there's 6 of them. I don't know why I had to count that. There's 3 on each side. There is definitely 6. So they're not seasonal, because there's only 4 seasons and then Christmas, which this one is obviously like the Christmas one. It's the only reason I thought maybe they were seasonal. They're not, that I'm aware of. So you could really just have these out whenever. And these ones are smaller, I think, 80 by 106. So they're medium, I think medium-sized pieces. Well, let me check. Let me do some math. 100, oh wait, I need that information, 62. Stop it, please stop. Just calm down. What did I say, 80 plus 106, so 186 divided by 2 is 93. So they are small. They're small. They're technically considered smalls. So anyway, that's it, I think. Oh no, there's one more thing. Oh, and I think there's some fabric somewhere that I've already put somewhere. It doesn't matter. That was a like exchange thing. And then I got this Victorian Motto Sampler floss in Sweet Violets. I think that was from Megan's box too. I got a lot of stuff from Megan's box. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I thought, just take it. If nobody else is going to take it, I'm going to take it. So that's that with that. I think that's everything, y'all. It's been a lot of shopping. Retail therapy. Yeah, so we are going to Frostburg next week. So it's our anniversary, so we're going up there. And my dad will be watching my dog here at the house. So we leave Thursday, come back Sunday. And there will be no video next week, obviously, because I'm doing every 2 weeks now. But the Wednesday after that, I'm not sure how much stitching I'm going to have, because I'm not taking any stitching with me up to Frostburg. I don't think. So I can't promise that there's going to be a whole lot of stuff in the next video. So just, you know, if it's a short video, hopefully that's okay because this one's a long video. It's at least like an hour at this point. I have to cut all of the things together to find out how long this actually is. But this one's 26 minutes at this point, and then one of them I think was like 30 something minutes. So we're like at an hour basically. But yeah, so I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks. We'll see how much I have. We have heat again now, and our air conditioning is working. So everything's working, knock on wood. Knock on all the wood. So yeah, I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks. I hope you have an amazing 2 weeks, and I will see you then. Bye.